Today on Rappler, it's a boy for Britain's royal couple as the Duchess of Cambridge gives birth to the future king. A critic of the reproductive health law says the measure is inconsistent with the Aquino administration's tuwid na daan. And a Rappler exclusive, 15 administration lawmakers are tagged in the pork barrel scam. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. It's a boy for Britain's Prince William and his wife Kate. On Monday, the Duchess of Cambridge gives birth to the future king, the third in line to the British throne, in St. Mary's Hospital in London. In a statement posted 4 hours after the birth, Kensington Palace says the baby, known as the Prince of Cambridge, weighs 3.8 kilos. Cheering crowds rushed towards the gates of Buckingham Palace to see the announcement posted on a gold easel. Queen Elizabeth II says she is delighted, while Prince Charles says he's overjoyed at the arrival of his first grandchild. Prime Minister David Cameron says the birth of the new prince is, quote, an important moment in the life of our nation. The arrival of a royal baby has been hotly anticipated since the couple married in 2011 after a decade-long romance. The palace says the boy's name will be revealed later, but bookmakers say the favorites are George and James. The Supreme Court resumes hearing arguments against the constitutionality of the reproductive health law. Anti-RH lawyer Luisito Liban says the controversial measure goes against the Aquino administration's Tuwid na Daan or Straight Path campaign. Responding to a question from Supreme Court Justice Arturo Brion, Liban says, if you're imposing a contraceptive mentality, it will not only affect this generation, but future generations to come. In his State of the Nation address Monday, President Benigno Aquino praises the passage of the RH law as an example of transformation in government. During the oral arguments, Liban says the RH law violates freedom of religion. Liban uses the moral dilemma of a healthcare worker to illustrate this. Section 7 and Section 23 of the RH law allows a Catholic healthcare provider to refer a person seeking RH services to another health worker. But Liban says this puts a Catholic healthcare provider in a dilemma. He says passing on the responsibility to deliver prohibited RH services to another will be, quote, leading another to commit a serious sin. He also argues maternal death should not be a reason for government to legislate the distribution of contraceptives. Liban adds, the RH law is a piece of legislation that has gone berserk. It violates the Constitution and the rights of the poor. It's an aggressive population control measure. Petitioners have asked the court to nullify the law on grounds of unconstitutionality. RH law advocate Senator Pia Cayetano says Liban's claims are serious.
Ito daw ay hindi consistent sa daang matuwid. Nakakalungkot po no na ganun kabigat ang mga paratang niya dahil very responsible po ang approach not only by the legislative no ng Kongreso sa pagpasa ng RH law pero pati ho sa implementation. Napakaingat po natin na ang Department of Health ay nakatutok diyan, ang FDA nga po na naniniguradong safe po ang ating mga droga.
The Supreme Court unanimously votes to reverse the disqualification of partyless group Senior Citizens. The Supreme Court says the ground cited by the Commission on Elections in disqualifying the group was never implemented. Last May, the poll body disqualified the Senior Citizens party list because it allowed one nominee to replace another midway in the 3-year term. The High Court says COMELEC committed grave abuse of discretion. Senior Citizens will now join 36 other partyless groups in the 16th Congress. The group got 2.38% of total party list votes, ranking it 10th overall in the May 13th elections. The Senate gets down to work with members of the majority getting chairmanships of prime committees. Senate Majority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano announces the first batch of 9 committee chairmanships of the 39 regular committees. The minority says it's considering not accepting any committee chairmanship as a group. Senator Chis Escudero heads the coveted 15-member Education Committee. Neophyte Senators Senator Grace Poe, heads two major committees, the Public Information Panel and the Committee on Public Order. As head of the Public Information Panel, Poe says she will prioritize the passage of the Freedom of Information Bill. As chair of the Justice Committee, Coco Pimentel will be the Senate representative to the Judicial and Bar Council, which screens nominees to the judiciary. The other committee chairs are Senator Lito Lapid for Tourism, Cynthia Villar for Agriculture and Food, Sonny Trillanes for National Defense and Security, Bam Aquino for Trade and Commerce, and Bong Revilla for Public Services. Here's a Rappler exclusive. 15 lawmakers now allied with the Aquino administration released their Priority Development Assistance Funds, or PDAF, to dubious organizations questioned by state auditors over a 5-year period. According to Rappler sources, the 15 lawmakers are just some of 49 lawmakers who released their pork through a single government corporation, the National Agribusiness Corporation, or NABCOR, under the Department of Agriculture. PDAF releases through NABCOR total more than 1.35 billion pesos from 2007 to 2011. Many of the lawmakers whose PDAF and NABCOR went to dubious NGOs were allied with former President Gloria Arroyo. After President Aquino won in 2010, a number of those Arroyo allies jumped ship to Aquino's Liberal Party. These 15, now allied with the Aquino administration, had a combined PDAF of 114.78 million pesos going to dubious NGOs from 2007 to 2011. Then Senator Edgardo Angara had 19.4 million peso of his PDAF released to the Kagandahan ng Kapaligiran Foundation in 2009 to 2010. During the same period, then Representative Joel Villanueva of partyless group SIBAC had 4.85 million peso released to the Kaagapay Magpakailanman Foundation. 4.85 million pesos from then Akbayan Representative Risa Ontiveros went to the Sagip Buhay People Support Foundation. Asked to comment, the three say they have no records of their funds released to the NGOs. The head of Metro Rail Transit Line 3 goes on leave to make way for an investigation into a $30 million bribery charge. Transportation Secretary June Abaya confirms an ongoing probe involving General Manager Al Vitangcol III and other transportation officials following complaints on the bidding for the train car supply contract. The project, worth 3.769 billion pesos, supplies an additional 48 train cars for the MRT-3. Abaya says Vitangcol was named by Czech Ambassador Joseph Reichtar. Reichtar says Czech train manufacturer Inacon Group was barred from joining the bidding on the train cars after it allegedly refused to pay $30 million grease money to transport officials. On Friday, Abaya denies the Czech manufacturer was blacklisted, saying Inacon was not able to submit its bid. Monday's State of the Nation address becomes a fashion runway as much as it is a political event. Pierre Añada reports.
The Batasang Pambansa transforms into a glittering runway of Filipiniana on the day of the State of the Nation address. Politicians and politicians' wives and children parade in, dressed to impress in their best terno and barong. The usual showstoppers do not disappoint. 4th District of Leyte Representative Lucy Torres Gomez waltzes in, wearing a dove gray terno by Randy Ortiz. Senator Lauren Legarda proudly wears a bagoba skirt made from abaca, accentuated by a brass Tivoli belt. Senator Pia Cayetano strikes a dramatic figure in her black and nude tulle and jersey gown by Mia Urquico. Newly elected officials make their first Sona fashion statement. Senator Grace Poe dons a white gold-beaded Rajo Laurel terno, echoing the white tops she wore during the campaign. Nancy Binay stands out in a turquoise camisa and lace skirt by Randy Ortiz. Bam Aquino arrives in what he calls his lucky wedding barong, his wife Timmy captivating in an ultra-feminine pink rose terno by Noel Crisostomo. Designers like JC Buendia consider many things for events like Sona.
I keep in mind the need for comfort, for a look that communicates to his constituents. It shouldn't be gaudy. A look that's endearing to the people.
How about the man of the hour?
Sure, he really likes the barong with a very simple ribbon embroidery. I have done a couple of those barongs for him. And
true enough, President Noynoy Aquino greets his audience in a dashing, well-cut but simple barong designed by Paul Cabral.
And I think it's also a reflection of how people relate to the president. There are some administrations that are maybe too high society, diba? Parang Pinoy is like the common man, so I guess they can relate to the president. Parang they feel like he's their barkada or...
The Sona proves that clothes, like the most awaited speeches, can be powerful messaging tools. P. Renada, Rappler, Manila.
Senator Miriam Santiago wants to file a resolution prescribing an official uniform for lawmakers attending the State of the Nation Address, or Sona. In a statement Tuesday, Santiago hits the, quote, thoughtless extravagance on display on the Sona red carpet. The senator says the Sona should be treated as a serious time for Congress to pick up policy directions from the president. She adds, it should not be treated as Oscar night in Hollywood, where peacocks spread their tails and turn around and around. Santiago suggests legislators wear simpler clothes that should indicate membership in Congress to separate them from other guests. Beyond being a political gathering, designers say the Sona is also a fashion showcase. While she's proud of world-class Filipino fabrics and designers, Santiago says the Sona event is not the proper venue for their talents. Senator Lauren Legarda says if there's to be an official uniform, it should be made from local materials.
Siguro magandang gawin natin ay i-amend natin yun kung meron man resolusyon to include compliance with the tropical fabric law para ang suot ay lahat Philippine-made, may fashionalism, fashion and nationalism. Kaya kung meron man resolusyon si Senator Santiago, ay maybe I will join her.
But newly elected Senator Grace Poe says she doesn't see the need for regulation.
Siyempre, mas naniniwala ako sa kalayaan na pumili, lalong-lalo na isang tradisyon ng Sona. I don't think there's a need to regulate. It's I guess it's the one time of the year that you can really dress up the way you want in a traditional manner. But again, it doesn't take away anything from me if it happens.
LeBron James, one of the biggest basketball stars today, visits the Philippines. Natasha Gutierrez reports.
Let's welcome the king, LeBron James.
When the king comes, his fans go wild. Basketball superstar LeBron James visits Manila for the first time. The four-time NBA MVP is considered the best player in the world today.
This welcome right here is something I will never forget.
A pumped-up James eggs the crowd on before leading a training camp with the Philippine national team and college all-stars. Later, he joins them in a game and shows off his moves. The players are just as starstruck as the fans.
It was pretty special. Again, to have the current two-time NBA champion, the current MVP, it was a special experience for all of us.
James is in the country for a one-day Nike tour. He praises Filipinos for their passion for basketball.
Well, he just said it's a great culture, man. They're very passionate about what they love and what they believe in, and with basketball being huge and probably the biggest sport over here, they're very passionate about it.
LeBron just led the Miami Heat to its second NBA championship in 2 years. He says he is not thinking of his legacy, but is focusing on doing his best in every game.
Actually, I really don't even think about it or talk about it. I got a lot more to prove to myself. I got a lot more to accomplish.
The 28-year-old says he would like to return to the country.
LeBron James vows to make sure Filipinos keep loving basketball, but he may not have to worry about that for a while. After all, this visit alone is sure to leave a mark on his diehard fans. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Manila.
A Norwegian woman sentenced to prison in Dubai after reporting she was raped is set free with a full pardon on Monday. 24-year-old Marte Delelve was prosecuted and convicted for extramarital sex, perjury, and consuming alcohol without a license after filing a complaint against her boss. The conviction sentenced her to 16 months in jail in the United Arab Emirates, but Dubai ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum pardoned her on all counts. In Oslo, Norwegian Foreign Minister Espen Barth Eide welcomes the pardon but criticizes the original court verdict. Eide says it was, quote, very strange that a person who reports rape is sentenced for acts which in our part of the world are not even a crime. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 4, Pope Francis gets a euphoric welcome as he arrives in Brazil for his first overseas trip since becoming Pope. The 76-year-old pontiff rides an open-top jeep through Rio de Janeiro with scores of faithful cheering the first Latin American Pope. Despite the heavy security, several people were able to stop his convoy and touch him through his open window. The threat of dangers heightened when an explosive device was discovered Sunday at the shrine of Our Lady of Aparecida, which the Pope will visit Wednesday. The Pope's message of a simpler church may hit a nerve in Brazil, which faces economic challenges that brought 1 million protesters to the streets last month. And at number 8, a top U.S. general suggests options for military intervention in Syria. In a letter to Congress made public July 22, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Martin Dempsey lists options like non-lethal intelligence and weapons training, a boots-on-the-ground plan, and an assault and secure of the Syrian regime's chemical weapons. There are ongoing deliberations on whether to intervene militarily against President Bashar al-Assad's regime. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Every story on Rappler has its own mood meter. It gives you 8 emotions to choose from. You click how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator that's in the middle of the front page. It crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our readers the most. These stories have gotten the most number of votes on their mood meter. If you take a look, today is a really unique day. One day after the State of the Nation address, all 10 stories are green. And it starts with the story that's gotten the most number of votes. As it happens, this is the live stream of the State of the Nation address, 65% happy. Down to the Oscars of the Philippines, Miriam wants the uniform. Even the uniform gets a happy, 60% happy and 30% amused. And of course, we have LeBron James, #Witness History press conference, whopping 62% happy. Let's hope we stay happy the next 24 hours. That's Rappler's Newscast for today, Tuesday, July 23, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.